Welcome to another portion of my Minecraft Forever World Tour, today focusing on the Atta tori Sud culture and its lore. As always, stay tuned for an Elytra tour at the end, and, well, let's jump right back into the world. We start this leg of the tour in the village of South Namir, a name I picked out of a hat, and I think it means swift cat. Well, you'll need to be a swift cat if you want to reach the other half of the village, but for now, the village of South Namir is really the first of many hilly villages I decided to fix in my Minecraft world. At some point, this was the furthest south in the world, but territorial ambitions can only be blocked for so long, and like many other walls around my Minecraft world, South Namir's walls have a unique design that means if you've seen it before, you know exactly where you are in the world. And as we exit South Namir, we'll begin our trek on the longest continuous path in my Minecraft world, the Southern Road, which connects South Namir all the way to the Kingdom of Wolffox. There's a lot of workers out here with small gathering sites that make this area feel like the outskirts beyond the walls. Approaching the halfway between the villages, we'll find our 7th built sanctuary location, the Fire Spring. I know it's not exactly the Lost Underworld, but this world is kind of a jumble of a lot of things, so however my Minecraft world ends up scrambling, well, it works for me. And next, we'll approach North Namir, which doesn't have any ornate walls. I mean, maybe it did in the past, but seeing the ruined castle, which was destroyed by the Piglin invasion of the past, it's, well, a reminder that the North suffered much more than the South merely due to proximity to the Piglin portal. And the trek to the heart of my empire is a long route, but once you're at the outskirts of Wolffox, you'll see that original Piglin invasion portal and the ruins of another village. Well, if you regenerate my world for the first time in Java Edition, you'll actually see a village placed there by the world generation. So I didn't know it would work out quite like that when I had made this world, but it really does make for an interesting ruin that symbolizes a great passage of time, and potentially even on regeneration of my Minecraft world in Java, you can almost think about it as if it's the world in the past, which makes sense because, I mean, it doesn't have any of the changes I made to it, but I'm getting into the weeds. I've also done a couple of other structures near this location, and beside these ruins is also animal head statues to the various animals I've had in real life over the years. And, you know, they kind of remind me of Easter Island heads. And I chose gold eyes because it's a precious metal and, well, it's for my precious animals. And to the side of my empire and past those structures is, well, it's a traditional all-purpose mob grinder. Nothing special, really. But my design idea for that was simply, please no giant box in the sky that's supported by a tiny little pillar. And that's why mine has a little bit more shape, although it still ends up kind of looking like a box in the sky. So, entering the kingdom proper, there's 3 major areas of expansion: the port, the original village, and the upper mountain portion. In the port, we'll find where the Runaway 5 went, sightseeing from a more simple lighthouse, and one of a few meeting points that, when there's a lot of villagers, it really makes the kingdom feel alive. And the Stonehenge motif is repeated frequently throughout the world, and Wolffox is no different. Next, as we go to the original village, we'll see that mostly what I've changed here is just increasing the density of housing and making something like the farms a lot larger so they can actually sustain that population. And my idea for the clock tower, well, actually, this second clock tower, because actually there was one before it, is a lot nicer than the one that came before. My original idea for it was, well, I mean, I want a clock tower in my kingdom. I think clock towers look really nice. And, well, you can't make maybe the most functional one in Minecraft, so looks is what we gotta go for. But originally, it was only facing on 2 sides. It was, well, not the most functional because it meant that on 2 sides you couldn't even see the clock. So I expanded it out and made it look better. So I guess this is the rare instance in my Minecraft world where I actually did tear down a structure and totally rebuild it. And I don't usually like to do that because I'm really one for preserving your history of your Minecraft world. And every time that you tear something down and rebuild it is erasing that history. So maybe don't do that. But unless it's something that you really want to tweak, like this clock tower, it, whatever you feel like is the best. I did feel like for the most part I didn't actually change what the purpose of the structure was, so it was fine. But moving on from the main village area, we'll go to the more mountainous region of the village, which houses, well, a lot of houses, I suppose that would make sense. And these are kind of like a lot nicer designed houses because, for one, this was an expanded area of the village, of course, so it seems to make sense. But I guess my idea was that this is right adjacent to my castle. So I would imagine that this would be maybe more prime real estate for anyone in the village. And also, it makes sense because there's a lot of, there's like a library here. So that's something that's worth considering. And actually, speaking of the library, this is one of my favorite spots in my Minecraft world because it has a really, I don't know. When I walk into it, I really like the way I made the bookcases, like really, like you have to climb up a ladder if you wanted to reach the highest books. And there's like a little area in the back for the librarians, probably to like restock books when people come back to return them or whatever have it. But I also can store all the written books that I've put in my Minecraft world, and there's lots of other sites in my Minecraft world where I've done that, so that no matter where you are, you can do some reading on my Minecraft world's lore. But moving from the library, well, we'll reach Frizzy's cabin, which is an interesting site in my Minecraft world. Originally, it was a cabin for one of my other imaginary friends, which was a dragon, but I felt like, maybe didn't make the most sense because I was trying to find a way to incorporate everything I could in my Minecraft world that you reasonably could. I don't know that there's any, without mods anyway, that there's any way you can get dragons all around your Minecraft world. I feel like werewolves works pretty well because wolves are easy to find in Minecraft. So, we'll stick with that one. But Frizzy is my werewolf, the channel art, if you were curious. And, well, this kind of cabin it's kind of funny because there's a ton of iron golems all around this specific spot. And I do know that for the most part, iron golems choose to go to the highest ground, especially because there's like a cave underneath this mountain. But I just think it works very interestingly that the cabin that houses my supposed imaginary friend is also, very heavily defended. So, definitely interesting. And actually, right next to that spot it would also make sense why it might be well defended, is the altar of the Phoenix, which is one of the most important spots in my Minecraft world. It's actually one of the first, let's say, religious holy sites in my Minecraft world that I've built. And really, my inspiration for it came from Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and I guess by extension, Sun and Moon. If you're familiar with the altar of the sun, altar of the moon, it's on a really high mountain, I suppose. And there's kind of like I guess I didn't exactly recreate the staircase going up, but I do like the idea of, you have to, it takes a lot of effort to get up there. There's a lot of staircases, but also when you reach the summit of that location, there's some sort of stone diagram or maybe not diagrams, let's say stone writing that is communicating something. And I do this a lot in my Minecraft world, actually using chiseled, making the effect of chiseled words into stone. But I never like to make sure that I always make sure that they don't actually say anything like an actual word, because I kind of like leaving that ambiguity in my Minecraft world buildings, is that you can see that it's clearly trying to say something, but you don't know exactly what it is. It's up to interpretation. And that's what I like. Even if you have a very specific idea for what you want to do with your Minecraft world, I mean, leaving some ambiguity for yourself also just means that if you want to change something in the future, you can very easily do that. And I would tell you at least a few times I have changed what exactly the lore of my Minecraft world is. So don't feel ever locked into a specific thing. Leave that ambiguity for yourself. And well, that really wraps up the expanded mountain village, and really all I wanted to cover in this video, because that's actually quite a lot of the southern portion, I suppose, of the Atta tori Sud culture. And next time we'll cover the other half of the Atta tori Sud culture. And, well, let's jump right into the Elytra tour. And as we round out this video, I hope that ultimately you'll see that this part of my Minecraft world is probably one of the most developed, invested regions that I've been in. And I mean, it makes sense because it's the part of the world that we've spent the most time in. So that would seem to follow. But what I like about this part of my Minecraft world is that it exemplifies a lot of things that I like to do when I'm building my Minecraft world, but at a smaller scale. When you have your Minecraft world, you're probably going to have very developed areas. And then, maybe you have areas between them that are less developed or, maybe not developed at all. But if you can connect those areas together, well, you can kind of have like outskirts. And you can see that with the path leading up all the way to Southern Namir and Northern Namir, I suppose. And then as you connect all the way to Wolffox, that really there's kind of like a mixed density of structures, both in the kingdom and in those other villages and along that path that make the Minecraft world feel just, well, you can spread things out and you can make things feel maybe not so concentrated that basically there's nothing else in your Minecraft world other than one spot. If you can separate things a bit, man, it just makes your Minecraft world feel so much more grand and large. And it means you can, well, go anywhere and see something that you've made and know that it's, well, still your world.